Bubbles are fun, especially for kids, and maybe this blonde. Bubbles are so much fun. Like, seriously, we can find true bliss just from bubbles. Fact. Bubbles, they can make things look super full and incredibly grand out of nowhere. Fact. Bubbles' life expectancy, even though it's super fun, is really short-lived. How? Because when wind blows on your very fun, full, grand pile of bubbles, three things happen to them. They cave in, they fall apart, and they fly everywhere in their bubble chaos. Why? Why does this happen? Because it's not a solid. It only provides fun for a certain amount of time. And if the wind comes and disturbs that fun, it deteriorates in front of your very eyes. Let's just make things simplistic and raw. Christians, they make things way too spiritual half the time. Life without Jesus is like you're living life like a bubble. It's fun. If you don't know God, you don't know any better. You can find pure bliss in sin. And just like bubbles, this very grand life without Jesus is very short-lived. Your life can be pretty full and grand, with all the materialistic things life has to offer you, with money, cars, houses, whatever else, and then all of the sin that you throw in, you can live a pretty full and seemingly grand life. Because when wind and storms and tragedies and hurts come, your life is going to fall apart, cave in, and fly off the handle. We can't build our lives off of bubbles, aka sin. It won't last. So we build them off of Play-Doh. Fact. Play-Doh is so much fun. Fact. Play-Doh can be shaped, molded, and made into basically anything that you can create. Fact. Play-Doh's life expectancy can basically last as long as you want it to, as long as you keep it maintained. And Isaiah 64:8 says, "Still, God, you are our Father. We're the clay and you're the potter. You have to be like Play-Doh. Let him mold you. And then if you maintain that mold, you'll become a solid. You maintain it by reading your word, praying, going to church, having a relationship with God." In Matthew 7, it talks about the man who built his house upon the sand. When the rain came and the floods of life came, his house fell. But the man that built his house upon the rock, it stood firm in the middle of the storm. So don't be like the bubbles. That will just make you go crazy. You'll fall apart. Be like the Play-Doh, and you'll stand tall. Some of y'all might be saying, I like the bubbles, I like the sin. But you know what? The kids liked the bubbles too till they were introduced to the Play-Doh. And they realized how much cooler the Play-Doh was, and the bubbles were a thing of the past. When you're introduced to a relationship with Christ, you'll realize how much cooler it is to live for Him, and the sin will be a thing of the past. So take hold of the Play-Doh, let go of the bubbles, let's be real, let's be raw, let's do this thing the way Jesus Christ did it.